Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly and I make videos that track my financial progress. I usually do a monthly budget video to introduce my budget. I will do a budget wrap-up video that closes out my budget for the month. And then I will do weekly budget check-in videos to kind of keep me on track with my spending because that's sort of the area that I was finding that I had the most difficulty. And it's typically just a screencast. I'm honestly way too busy to really, produce quality videos at the time. And so it is what it is. But thank you if you are coming back. I would love it if you subscribed and leave a comment. Let me know, how this channel has been able to serve you, or any, kind of suggestions or any questions that you have about the way that I do things. This is late. This video usually goes up on like a Saturday, or a Sunday, sorry. And I kind of go from like Sunday to Saturday, but it's been a rough week. It's been a really rough week. I tested positive for COVID last week. So uh, I was in absolutely no shape to do this video. And even this today is a little rough. It's been 6 days since it's Tuesday right now, and it's 6 days since my diagnosis. But 7 days since I started actually feeling symptoms. It really wasn't terrible. Like I didn't have it nearly as bad as anyone else because it was already like I was halfway through my immunization anyway. Like I'd gotten the shot 2 weeks before, but I just had a cough, like not even a persistent cough, just a cough every once in a while, which was not really alarming because my house is dusty. Where I work, I cough because it's dusty. But I had that. I don't know if anybody else has this, but um, like you can kind of randomly sneeze, and then there's a sneeze you give when you're about to get sick. Like it just feels different. Like you sneeze and you go, "Oh God, I'm gonna be getting sick." Same thing with a cough for me. For a sneeze is for a head cold for me. A cough is for a chest cold. It's still a cold, but sometimes it, gets you more in the sinuses. Sometimes it gets you more in the chest. And every time I coughed, it felt like chest cold cough. And I thought, crap, I'm getting sick. So I actually intended on, and that was on a Tuesday. I had a little bit of a fever on Tuesday night, but I was like, it's like barely a fever. It was like 99.4 or 5 or something. And I was like, maybe I was just getting a little too toasty under the blankets here, and I'm not really a feverish because I didn't really feel bad. Um, really, in any way, just the occasional cough that I was like, oh crap, I have a cold coming. And sometimes I'm able to kind of fight off being sick if I just take it easy, get a ton of sleep. So I thought, all right, I'm going to call off work on Wednesday and use that time to then just kind of sleep in, be lazy all day, and hopefully like get enough rest, and that'll take care of it. I'll feel fine. And then a friend of mine had to leave work, was like told to leave because she was sick, and told she had to go get a test. So she went to go get a COVID test and she was positive. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do? And I'm like, I'm kind of feeling like now, but I'll probably be fine tomorrow. It's really not bad. I just, have cough every once in a while. And she was like, that's what I had. She was like, yeah, I had like a little fever, not much, just a very, very low grade fever and this weird cough. And I tested positive. So you should probably test. You should probably go get a test. So, well, I waited to actually see if she got positive first because I thought I'm not getting brain with a Q-tip for nothing. Because I didn't realize it was a rapid test that was doing like really, really low in the nose. They were going to be doing the one that like shove all the way up to your brain. Thank you, but no. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that for nothing. I'm going to wait and see if you have it first. Because if you don't, then I'm just going to assume I also don't. And then hers was positive, and I thought, crap, I need to go get tested now. So I went to get tested, and boom, positive. I had to get it from work because I don't go anywhere or do anything. But so anyway, because of that, I had to quarantine. I'm still in quarantine. Um, and that required me to actually make a purchase and spend more money than I wanted to. on the product because I ended up having to order it online instead of being able to like run down to a local store because quarantine. So I ordered something off of Amazon, and that was um maybe all of, oh no, that wasn't all of my expenses this week. What am I thinking? Um yeah, my brain's only kind of half there. I'm still a little tired. For the most part, I just had like the worst cold I've ever had in my life. Um Kind of like some sinusy pressure stuff. It's my oven because I'm cooking dinner. The reason I'm really talking about it made me kind of feel awful, but not like, I hate to I hate to make it sound like I'm downplaying it in any way. I think I'm very much one of the lucky ones in that it really didn't do what it did to other people. And I think a lot of that does have to do with the fact that I did get my first shot about 2 weeks before, so I had a lot of protection anyway, and I knew it was working because I had a reaction on my arm. So I think that helped. I think that helped lessen the severity of it. There was a time there where I lost a little bit of smell and a little bit of taste, and that was horrifying. I was afraid I was going to lose that forever. I did not. Came back for the most part. Thank God. Thank God. Um, and you can actually, I mean, you might be able to tell my voice is still a little nasally because I am still a little like congested through here. But I couldn't talk without coughing. Like I could get a sentence out and then I had to cough again. So that was mostly it. But it just kind of drained me. Like I just felt blah. And when I get this way, when I feel this way, the last thing I want to, like, I love to cook, but the last thing I want to do is cook. So I have like convenience foods that are really, I stock my pantry with some of them so that I always kind of have something on hand. It's a little more expensive than some other things, but I want to have it so that like it's still cheaper than like going out and getting takeout or going out to eat. So it's something that's there when I know like, oh, I don't really have a lot of time to cook or I don't have a lot of energy to cook. Here's something really simple. I ran through all that pretty quickly and I was out. So I was screwed. So I ended up doing an order. It won't be on this week's budget. It'll be on next week's budget wrap up. I ended up placing an order at Sam's for like just some convenient stuff that I can just throw in the oven. That's one of them right there. That oven beep you heard. I'm assuming my computer picked it up, but so yeah, it was a lot of that. A lot of that. A big thing of Gatorade. So I don't get dehydrated with all of the Sudafed stuff that's like drying you up. So yeah, it's a rough week, and I can tell you, I definitely wanted to try to do a video, and I just couldn't. I didn't have the energy. I looked even worse than I look now. I mean, I think I still look pretty like pasty pale, but it was rough. It was rough. It was all I could do to like even go upstairs and get a shower, and not because like I didn't have a problem breathing. I didn't, I've had some friends who've had it and it's been really bad. Like they couldn't even cross the room without like needing to sit down and catch their breath. It wasn't like that at all. It was just kind of like a general fatigue. Um and like just feeling miserable. Um so yeah, and even when like the symptoms kind of went away and I felt a little bit better, I still just kind of was like, oh, blah, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I've been meaning all week to make chocolate chip cookies. I literally just got around to doing it last night. Not even all the way. I made the dough, the cookie dough. I still need to bake them. Probably do tonight. But I was literally scrounging for like, what can I eat so that I don't have to cook anything because I don't feel like cooking anything. So yeah, good times. Good times. Don't recommend it. Avoid it. Because again, I had the easy, like I wasn't bad enough to be hospitalized. I wasn't bad enough to be like as awful as, a friend of mine had to get rushed to the ER several times, for like breathing treatments and things like that because they could not breathe. I didn't have that problem. The closest I came to not being able to breathe was when I was like on a coughing fit that like I felt like I couldn't get oxygen in, but that's it. So budget's going to be a little weird. It was I had to take my certification exam on Monday, the Monday before, not it's Tuesday now, not yesterday, so it was a week from yesterday. And afterwards I I intended on going to one of my favorite restaurants and I forgot they're closed on Mondays. So I drove there and I got all excited and I went, "Oh no. Oh, I forgot you're closed." Like I was going to treat myself to a meal, a celebration for having finished my test. And I was even going to pick up some beer, which in retrospect, I think I'm kind of glad I didn't now. It's a brewery, and they make amazing beer, and I had my growler with me. And in retrospect, probably a good thing, because if I was sick, I really shouldn't have been drinking. And I'd have been upset to let that go to waste. But yeah, so all right, let's get into the purchases for last week, actually. And then we will go from there. Hey, I use Screen Record. Didn't I tell you that? Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, so I've made some changes to my budget because I expected that I was going to get my stimulus money and my tax return, but I wasn't sure, so I kind of had them down here in this this little zone here. And as soon as it I had them totaled, the whole column totaled, which was stupid, but I didn't realize that until I did it. So as soon as the income actually hits my checking account, I'm going to get it. And I have a feeling I'm not going to get this dollar refund from the state, and I'm a little annoyed because I should. If I owed them $1, they weren't going to be like, "Oh, it's fine, don't pay it." But I have a feeling they're going to be like, "It's just $1, we're not going to give it to you." So we'll see. I would have thought that I would have gotten it by now, so I'm not certain what that's going to do, but I do have stimulus coming. It's sitting and like shows pending in my bank account. It should actually, I think, drop sometime this week, and I forget when. Tomorrow, maybe, perhaps. So, I can't even remember what I think I talked about the cell phone situation last week. So I think that's good. So yeah, not a lot spent last week, $273.25. And I spent that in just a handful of places, and when I am so off right now. So the 23rd, 22nd, 21st. So the 13th to the 20th, that's what we're looking at for. Okay, so yeah, so I think it's the 14th to the anyway. This might be just when they came out. So briefly, in case I didn't cover it last week, so my mom only had a handful of payments left on her cell phone, so she just gave me the money and was like, "Hey, pay it off." So that's where the extra $120 from her comes in, and then the extra payment to the cell phone. So it kind of looks like an overage, but looks like an overage in my budget, but it's not costing me more money because she sent me the money for it and for some groceries that I got for her. And then I did this Craftsy thing because it was like $249 for a year of like premium access or whatever. So I decided, for $250, I'll check it out. I actually used to buy, like when they would go on sale every once in a while, I would get like a class or two of different craft things or baking or cooking or whatever, because I really like them. I think I've actually improved my cooking and baking skills a lot. So I liked the individual classes, and then they went to the subscription model, which at first I was like, I'm not really paying that for that. But then the $249 for a whole year, I didn't really think I could beat. So I'm good with it. I went to Lowe's and blew all of my housing budget. I went after my test because I wanted to get some seed starting stuff. Next month, I'm going to have to get some more another seed starting tray. I'm not really sure what I want to utilize, but I got in here, like next month it won't be anywhere near as much because I got between this and this Amazon order, I got some vermiculite to make sure that like it doesn't get too wet. My little seedlings don't get too wet. But I had to order that from Amazon. I couldn't go to the store and go get like a smaller thing of it or get it in any way less expensive because I was quarantined at that point. But I got like a little like seed starting tray and it came with like little pods. Um, and I got 2 bags of seed starting mix because I honestly wasn't really sure how much I would need. And like little tags and a bunch of seeds. So the next time I go back out, like I don't need any more seeds necessarily unless I find something that's interesting and I want to use. But and I don't need any more um soil or anything like that. I'll really just need to get some more like another tray and like little pods that go in the tray. And usually like when you buy it the first time they come with. So I would not anticipate the refill to be that. But ultimately like I know I at least need one more tray of things to do what I want to be able to. I'm sure I could use plenty more, but we're going to start with 2 and go from there. But that's what I got at Lowe's. I ended up having to eat at Wendy's instead of the place I wanted to go because the place I wanted to go was closed. And I got some things at a health food store. So I'm putting that under personal because it's not actually grocery, even though it is like health food. They've got like, well, they've got all kinds of things. They've got like medicines and supplements and things like that. So I put that under personal rather than grocery. I have, these are my upcoming purchases. I didn't want to put them in here yet because they only count for, they'll be on next week's. So, so far so good. I'm over in a couple of categories. But pretty much only because I I went over in housing $14.56. I don't know if I could have gotten vermiculite any cheaper. I think I probably could have. I probably could. It's like a huge bag of it. And I probably could have gotten it for a lot less. But I really didn't have a choice. I had to get it from Amazon or from some place that could get it to me quickly, and Amazon was the closest. Like I had intended on going back out to the nurseries around and getting the other things that I wanted. And I planned on doing that this weekend, well, last weekend, but I was going to be quarantined. So I ended up having to order and I thought, all right, well, I can maybe wait on some of these things, but I can't wait on the vermiculite, so that's going to have to be what I do. So that stinks, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Oh, I also got plant food for the plants that I already currently have. I have something to like fertilize them, and that's out in my shed. So that's way more than I'm gonna need. The next time if I go get more seed starting trays and whatnot, it might be like, I don't know, 20 bucks. Unless I decide to get a light setup system, which I might. I also got a heat mat for under them, but I don't know that I'm going to need to use that. We'll see. I may end up returning that. But yeah, that's it for the week. Not a ton of things to spend on because I couldn't go anywhere or do anything because I was quarantined. I was so tempted to buy so many different things, like games and online games and things like that to play. And I almost bought I definitely almost bought many things. And I was like, wait a minute, don't do this because you're sick. Like, don't just do this because you're sick. Think about this, Kelly. Stop buying things. So I ended up doing pretty well, all in all. Did go over on that house and garden budget. Bummer. However, I'm still pretty under on groceries. I am still pretty under, and that's going to include, I mean, pretty much going to the end of the month. So I don't think that I will go, well, I'll probably go get like salad stuff. I might spend like 30 bucks more at the groceries, on groceries next week. We'll see. And, I'm going to be under in restaurant, going to be under in personal. So I feel like overall I'm under, so I can forgive myself for going over in the house and garden. But anyway, that's also me being sick. I was gonna do like a debt payoff update video, but me being sick kind of bumped that. I also actually want to do a video on my scorched earth budget, which is just kind of like if like things really hit the fan and I need to do, like, I need to cut Um, and I need to really consider how much money I need to make in order to just get to the next month. That's what that video is about. I recommend that you come up with that budget, um, and kind of figure out for yourself so that like, okay, if the things get really, really, really bad, here's the absolute minimum I need to survive, and go from there. That doesn't include like really many things fun. It's kind of like where you sit down and you go through and you think like, okay, do we really need this? Like, I like it, but no, I can get by without it. Like for me, that would be TV. I can totally get by without TV. I have for most of my life. But most of my adult life, I should say. But I could not get by without internet because I use the internet in like my job. I use the internet when I was teaching online. I use the internet. It would also be a way for me to like earn some extra money, so it would be hard to like give up the internet. But you might see that there's another way you can do things, you know? You might have a cell phone plan that has like unlimited data. And so if push really came to shove, could you just rely on that data package as opposed to having like a regular internet service? So just stuff like that that kind of helps you sort of frame in your head what you absolutely like bare minimum you need to survive and see the next month. So start to think about that. I'm going to do a video on it eventually once I start feeling a bit more energized. But I'm going to cut this video off right now before I ramble anymore. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about the budget that I use or anything I've said in here. I am going to assume it made sense, but I am recovering. My brain is just, whew. I feel like if anything, my brain took a hit. Like my brain feels like it's in a fog. And I literally can't remember something that I did 2 hours ago. It's not great. That's a terrible feeling. And I don't know if it's just because I'm tired. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older. I don't know if it's just because I've been like a lazy slug for the last week. And so my brain is like, oh, you wanted me to function? Or what? But yeah, at any rate, leave a comment, even if you just want to say hi, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in a few days because I'm going to wrap up the budget for the week in a few days because it's already Tuesday. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. See you later.